Hey from Fuller to Fullest fam, this is the first episode of 2021 and I'm so glad you're here. If this is your first time coming in, welcome to the fam. If this is a returning visit for you, we're so glad for you to be coming back and chilling with us today. So, first thing, top of the episode, we're going to talk about what I finished in 2020. Just recap that up for you because I'm really proud of the progress I made. Then we'll go into finished objects, works in progress, all that stuff that we normally do. And we'll end this episode with my 2021 knitting goals. So let's just jump right into finished objects. No, we're topping this off with finished objects of 2020. So I've got my handy little list here that I made. I finished 6 baby blankets. All of those have been gifted to the recipients. I've finished 1 full-size blanket. You guys may remember that. That is the Star Blanket by Stephen West. The giant monster of a project, but I love it so much. I finished 3 kid blankets. Some of those you saw, some of those you didn't, because they were Christmas gifts and they got gifted before I could film. The holidays are kind of busy. You all get that, right? I finished 1 baby sweater, which again has been gifted. I finished 1 adult sweater and 1 kid sweater in 2020. And those you should have seen on here. I tallied them. I looked them up on my Instagram so I could tell you which ones they were. And I've forgotten since. So, it is what it is. I finished 2 hats. One very recently, and I can remember that off the top of my head. It's the unicorn hat with the pom-pom on the top for my oldest girl. I finished 17 dishcloths in 2020. Okay. I finished 1 shawl. That is the Wonder Woman shawl that I showed on here and was so in love with. Absolutely gorgeous. I finished 2 cowls. The House Pride cowl by Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits, and the Holly Jolly Holiday cowl also by Meg over at Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. She has a YouTube channel. I highly suggest her. Love her so much. I finished 3 pairs of socks, and I finished 1 pair of fingerless mitts. That's a pretty substantial amount of knitting and crochet, and I'm really proud of myself. I'm hoping to outdo myself in the coming year. I'm already off to a really great start. Look, we're only 3 minutes in, and I'm all ready to finished objects. I thought this would go longer than that because I'm kind of chatty, but I decided to cut it short. So we've got a lot to cover in this episode. Before we jump into finished objects, let's just get down to my what I'm wearing, what I'm drinking out of, so I can give my friends a shout out. You have not seen this shirt before. This is from my friend Jess over at Roots and Refuge Farm. She also has a YouTube channel all about her homesteading life, her and her family. Her husband, that is fondly referred to as Sweet Maya by those of us that follow them, and by Jess, and then their children. This is the, I got this on pre-order. They do have some on pre-order. I think the shirt itself is a different color, but this is the Turn Your Waiting Room into a Classroom design. I love it so much. And then I've been living in this shirt and the hoodie I got from them. So let me show you that hoodie. This is absolutely beautiful. I love this green. And this design is just, can you see that? Isn't that lovely? That's Real Food Comes Dirty. And then it's also got, Roots and Refuge Farm on there. Can you see that? Yeah, there you go. Absolutely beautiful. Been living out of these things. I highly suggest it. They use a local company to them that is sustainably sourced. All of the things that they do and they use are done sustainably because they have the conviction that they need to be promoting people with their merch that believe the same things they do, which is to live sustainably. And I am trying really hard to become more self-sustainable in the coming year, but we'll talk about that in visions and goals. Today I'm drinking out of, you've seen this before, my Tiffany's Creative Customs tumbler. It's got my name here, and then all I need is a little bit of Slim Plus and a whole lot of Jesus. Just drinking some water out of it today while I talk with you guys. So now that we've got those things out of the way, let's jump into finished objects. I've got one finished object, my very first finished object of 2021, which I finished last night while watching The Hobbit. I watched Desolation of Smaug and The Battle of Five Armies yesterday evening. It was just me and my littlest girl, and she loves those. We have recently learned, so we watched that. I finished my old, let me find it, make sure I've got it turned the right direction. My oldest girl's moonbeam. It is not, the ends are not woven in, it's not been blocked, but you can see how absolutely stunning this has turned out. So I made this this is also one of Meg's designs. Bad Wolf Girl Sits and Knits. She's got patterns on Ravelry, Ribbler, and Etsy. I love her colorwork designs just because I was new to colorwork this year, and hers are so easy to follow. Absolutely wonderful charts. But this is the Moonbeam sweater. So wonderful. I am in the coming year. We'll talk about that in the coming year. But first finished objects of 2021. Now, all of these projects, aside from maybe two, you have seen, because the holidays are crazy. So let's just start with some of my oldest ones. That would be the conversion pullover by Telly Bean Knits. I did get a tiny bit of work done on this second sleeve. I have finished this sleeve. I really want to finish this. I did not realize the undertaking that it was to knit a fingering weight sweater. It's beautiful. The pattern is fantastic. But fingering weight, you guys. Little tiny, I mean, if you are someone, I have family that watches this and they don't know a whole lot about knitting, so fingering weight is really skinny, and it takes a long time to get the length you need for sleeves and such. So hopefully this will be finished soon. I'm going to really crank out some work on this in the coming week or so, because I've got some time off from work for a trip I'm going to make, and I plan to do some simple, easy knitting in the car. So, conversion pullover, Telly Bean Knits, absolutely beautiful. I believe Telly Bean Knits has her own website, tellybeanknits.com, and Ravelry, where she sells her patterns at. I have this dishcloth that maybe has had 3 rows added to it since you saw it, because again, the holiday season, Christmas, we have a pretty busy Christmas, and with not being able to see a lot of family this year, we really wanted to see them at Christmas, so we took all the precautions we felt necessary to be able to see our family. So we did a lot of going here, going there. Our family all lives within like a 45-minute to an hour radius from us, so but we had several things. My husband's birthday is Christmas Eve, so we do a lot at the holidays, and especially Christmas, so not much knitting gets done. Dishcloth. First one of 2021 when it is finished. I have this sweet little sweater. All it needs is the sleeves. This is exactly how you saw it last time. I'm showing you again so I can hold myself accountable. All I have to finish are the sleeves, and then I can give it to sweet baby Rowan. So I may sit down and do this today. My husband and oldest girl are at camp fishing, and that is not my thing. It's really windy. It's cold for Southwest Arkansas. All of my northern friends are going, you think that's cold, but when you're down here, we're like, you think that's hot. Anyway, it's cold for us. I don't want cold and windy, and I don't want my youngest to end up with an ear infection or anything like that right before we go out of town. So I will finish this. It will be done the next time you see a Craftcast. I hope I keep that promise. Anyway, so you have seen this next one. Also, this is a blanket for my eldest daughter's best friend, Gemma. Gemma knows it's coming, so if she happens to watch, she will already know that it is hers. So I'm working on this. Here's where I was the last time you guys saw it. So, hoping to get some good work done on this while traveling as well. And then this blanket, which the cafe colored baby blanket I made out of the plushy type stuff for the neighbor's baby has a big sister, and I'm working on a blanket for the big sister just because they're our friends and we care about them, and I like to love on all the babies that I can because I'm a mom, and I just feel like that's like a natural thing most moms do. I have made some progress on my scrappy blanket. Not a whole lot, I don't think, since you've seen it, because, well, I say not a whole lot, but the rows are so long that 30 minutes of work doesn't look like much, but it really is a lot of work. Let me find my stitch mark. Okay, so here's where you guys saw it last time. Here's how many rows I've put on it. But as you can see here, let me just fold this in half where it makes it a little bit easier to see the actual length of this blanket. So this is in half. This is folded in half. So it is really long. It is probably, as Jess would say, a whole dad tall blanket, which I think it's really cute. She measures things in how many of her dad it would take to get as tall or as long as something is, and I think her dad's like roughly 6 foot, so it's probably at least that in length. So I've made decent progress since you've seen it, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and move this stitch marker so you'll be able to see the progress I make by next time. I'm considering joining in with Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady podcast on her Scrappy Sunday and make this my Sunday project. I think I may have told you guys that before. While I'm chatting, I'm just going to move these. But I may have told you guys that before, but I think I am going to implement that this year just so that I can make more progress on the things I make with the scraps of yarn that I have, because those things tend to go by the wayside for other projects. That is all for works in progress. I do have one thing that I pulled out, and I'm going to frog it. For those of you that don't know what that means, frogging is to rip out, you know, mimicking that rip it motion. Frog it, you know. Anyway, so this is the very first project I ever made, and I never use it because I think it's hideous. But it's the very first real project I made. It's a blanket, but I mean, it is very poorly done. And this yarn is so expensive that I really don't want it to go to waste by just sitting in a bag stored. So I have begun the process of frogging that, and I will find something beautiful to make with this chenille yarn, because chenille is expensive and I want to enjoy what I make with it. So it is getting ripped out. So that's another work in progress. It's getting ripped out, which will take some time. So there's that. And with that, we'll go on to knitting goals. And I'll go ahead and share just all of my goal processing for the upcoming year, because why not? We've got the time. It's the first cast of the year. So I'll go ahead and share my gardening goals and plans and my knitting plans with you. I ordered this bullet planner from Scribbles That Matter. I am an avid bullet journaling person. I do enjoy being able to build a planner that works with what I like. Scribbles That Matter put out a bullet planner. It has your weekly spread already done for you. I'm not sure if I love that yet, but I'm gonna give it a really good try to see how I like that. I do like not having to draw it out, but I don't like that I can't change it, you know, or that it doesn't change. But anyway, so my weeks are set up, and I have time blocking that I'm trying to get into time blocking here. This blue is my work hours for the days I'm at work. And I put my meal plans on here. I think what I'm going to start doing is using this little section here for meal planning, because I haven't really gone by what I put on what day. I have made these meals, but not necessarily on this day. So that may change upcoming. And then this orange here is my time block that we are at church with our Roar family. But my really favorite things here so far are the vision board I have created for inside my bullet journal. Now, I have an actual vision board that hangs on my wall just above my head here, but it hasn't been updated. So I'm going to update that, but this is a vision board I can carry with me. And then I'll do a video on vision boarding and goal setting. I think that'll be a fun video to do with you guys. Sorry, I keep messing with my hair. It's wet. I took a shower just before I started filming, and it is kind of clinging to my neck and on my nerves. So I do apologize for that. And then I've got my 22 before 2022. I haven't decided on the last few things I'd like to do before then. And books I've read for 2021, which I have already read 3. No. I have read 2, and I'm finishing the 3rd one. I have read The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which is absolutely wonderful. I loved it. Loved it so much. I know there's been mixed reviews on it. Some people enjoy the original trilogy. It's a prequel to The Hunger Games, if you're not aware. Some people enjoyed the original series better, and which is fine. Everybody has different tastes. I really enjoyed seeing Snow's thought processes and how he ultimately becomes the man that he is. I'm fascinated with the way the brain works. I think it's just wild, and I loved it. And then I've also read The Ichabod. My sweet friend Rachel loaned it to me. It is J.K. Rowling's newest children's book. So fantastic. Really loved it. I think I would have loved it more if I hadn't just finished The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, because it is very fairy tale-ish. Super good. Really enjoyed it. There's a lot of moral exploration into morals, and the moral of the story is, I really enjoyed that aspect, because again, I love how the brain works. I love dissecting the mind and anything that has to deal with that sort of thing. And you can definitely see the morality of the different characters in it, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And now I'm reading Know Yourself, Know Your Money by Rachel Cruz, who is the daughter of Dave Ramsey, who wrote The Total Money Makeover. Dave Ramsey is a household name around the majority of my family, and to some of them it's a cuss word, but I really love Dave. I love Rachel. They're very relatable. I'm listening to the audiobook of this one because I feel like things on finance, things on self-growth and growing yourself, I can listen to them over and over and over and really retain that information. Whereas if I'm reading it, I have to go back and reread it and go back and reread it. And on audio, I can listen to it over and over again and retain it just a little bit better. I will eventually have a book, like a actual book version of it where I can highlight and make notes. But I'm really enjoying listening to this on my commute. I have decided that my car is my classroom, and it's been that way for a couple of years now. So this is my current class that I'm taking, and I'm enjoying it. I should finish it in the next few commutes. And then I'm just giving you a basic layout of my bullet planner. If you're just here for the knitting, that's really done, other than my knitting goals for this year, which I'll get to in a little bit. But I'm just, while I'm here, going to go through my bullet journal setup. And then I have my focus map before I dive into the next month. My focus map allows me to make the small goals that will get me to the big goals for the year. So I plan each month with a focus map what I'm going to focus on each month before it comes. So January, and then it goes into the calendar for that month, which you will, this is essentially a blank layout like this before I fill it in. So I filled in my month here, and then it goes into the weekly spreads. So there's that. Oh, now knitting goals, which are back here in the back of this. There are some pages at the end of this bullet planner to allow you for your collections. If you're a bullet journaler, you know what collections are there. Like my books I've read collection, I write in what I've read each time I'm reading something. So in this back here, I have made my Make 9 page. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do a knitting bullet journal where I just keep up with what I knit, what I used, you know, tools, yarn, all that. I'm seriously considering it. That way I have a little more space than just my Make 9, because let's be honest, Make 9 is just a goal sheet, and an idea sheet. What I actually knit is going to be totally different, and there's not going to be enough room in the way this is laid out. So I think I may create a knitting bullet journal and then just pull it out when I start a new project, or when I finish a project, or when I need to make a note on a project I'm working on. Considering, not 100% sure. So I want to do another moonbeam sweater for my little girl. This one, actually, when I wrote this, it was to finish the moonbeam. So technically this is done, but I'm leaving it on here as not finished, so I can make one for my youngest girl. I want to do the Dino Roar sweater, which is a child sweater. There's also an adult version, but I bought the child's version because my little one loves dinosaurs. So make her a Dino Roar sweater. I want to do a Flax Sweater, which is by Tin Can Knits. It's a free pattern. They have flax and flax light. It's just a raglan with a garter detail down the arms. I want to do that. I want to do the Estrella sweater, which is the adult version of the moonbeam that I showed you as a finished object. The adult version of this one. I want to make myself a moonbeam. I want me and all of my girls to have one, and to do a picture of us together in them. A weekender. I've been saying forever that I'm going to make a weekender. I have the yarn to do it. I just haven't done. I've got it in a bag and everything, like ready to go. I just haven't started it. So I'm going to start that. I'm going to allow myself to start that once I finish the conversion pullover. Because I know if I start that weekender, the conversion pullover is not going to get done. So, know yourself. Know what makes you get things done. I want to do the Katie shawl, which is by Cozy Up Knits. They're 4 sisters in Canada, and they have some beautiful patterns. Their patterns are on Ravelry and Love Crafts. But I have the Katie shawl, and I want to do that. I've had that pattern for a while. I want to do the Campside shawl, which is another shawl that I've had for a long time. the pattern for a long time. I want to do 2 pairs of socks and another color work cowl by the end of this year. So that's my Make 9. I am participating in Noble Character Crafts Make 9 2021 MAL. I participated in the 2020 MAL, and I'm going to participate again this year because I feel like that is a good thing to keep me accountable to making the things I want to make this year. So, goal setting. That is what I plan to do. A sweet friend. I am a part of a little group on Facebook that is local here where we bless each other with the things on our Amazon wish list. I'm going to take this sticker off because I just realized it's here and it bothers me that when stickers are left on journals. But one of the sweet ladies that is part of that group sent me the gardener's logbook that I wanted. And this logbook is so cool because it's got plant logs. You can put on here the name of the plant, the scientific name, what it is it a flower, is it a fruit, is it a vegetable, whatever, when it germinated, when you planted it, where you planted it, what type of sun it requires, if I made any fertilizer or soil amendments, any kind of pest or weed control I put on it, what kind of watering it requires, when it bloomed, when I harvested, and any notes I make. And there's also a cute little rating chart of leaves here. Can you see that? Yeah. Of if I liked it or not. So when I plant things in the future, I will know how I felt about it before I actually plant it again. And then it's got these cute little grid pages back here. You can't really, I don't think you can really see, but it's a dot grid where I can draw out my garden and what I have in it. So this is neat. I'm excited to use this. I will be starting seeds at the end of this month. It'll be time for me to start my seeds indoors for my summer garden. 6 to 8 weeks from transplant. Anyway, I think that's it. Oh, acquisitions. So on top of receiving these 2 beautiful pieces of these 2 beautiful garments that I ordered, my aunt got me this for Christmas and I loved it. Crazy Craft Lady. I loved it. I think it's great. Oh, I forgot something. I'm gonna go grab it. I'll be right back. Okay, so anyway, let me finish telling you about this, and then I've got something else to show you in acquisitions. So, my aunt got me this cute, it's a tote bag, and I've been carrying one of the blankets in it. I love it. Crazy Craft Lady, because we all know I'm not a crazy cat lady. I'm just saying. I don't have any pets. My husband doesn't let me have pets for one, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm a cat lady or a dog lady because I don't have pets. Anyway, my mom and grandmother for Christmas made me this apron. My grandmother loves her Cricut. It is one of her favorite things to use and make gifts from, and my mother too. So they make all kinds of stuff on clothing, but they also do scrapbooking. It's really beautiful, and I have been telling her she needs to do a YouTube channel. My mother needs to do a YouTube channel. So Mom, start that YouTube channel. Just saying. Love you. So anyway, for Christmas, they made me a apron for my new kitchen because our house is finally starting to be what we want it. We're starting to decorate and get things in that we like. So we renovate. Oh, let me just back up. When we bought this house, we gutted and renovated it. Nothing in this house is as we bought it except for the carpets. One bathroom's shower is the same. And then the countertops and backsplash in my kitchen. Everything else has been completely redone. Absolutely beautiful. I love my little house. And now we're starting to get things in as far as decorating wise. We're printing pictures to hang up pictures. We're buying all the salt and pepper shakers and utensil holders, those sorts of things that really make my kitchen. And I love it. So my mom and grandmother made me an apron. So this is going to take a couple of shots to be able to show you the whole thing. So first it says from fuller to fullest, because they do watch my YouTube channel and they are so proud of me, and that really just does my heart good that they're so proud of me for sticking with it, because I'm proud of me for sticking with it. And then on the pockets, let's see, can you see this? On the pockets, it's got graphics for each cast. So my craft cast here, that's knitting and crochet, and then my garden cast. So this made me tear up when I got it, and I love it so much. So I haven't used it much because I don't want to get it dirty. I know it's made to be used, but anyway. And they used my favorite pattern here. I don't know if any of you guys know. If you're my personal friends watching, you probably do. But this buffalo plaid is my favorite pattern for any and everything. I do love it so very much. So that and acquisitions. And with that, I think I'm done. So I will see you guys next time. I'm so glad you came to hang out with me. I bless y'all. See you later.